living hostages is painstaking and heartbreaking to hear, but it sheds a light on the wickedness our people endured for 2 years in hell in Hamas captivity. Although their testimonies won't end up on headlines on the BBC and the Associated Press because it does not fit the anti-Israel narrative they push out on a daily basis, it is our duty to remind you of their stories, and so when everyone else forgets the history of this war and the hatred Hamas holds for the Jewish people, this can be your reminder. I point you to the partial interview that was released of former hostage Guy Gilboa Dalal, who is revealing for the first time publicly the horrific sexual abuse he endured while in Hamas captivity. Now, specifically, the 24-year-old detailed a moment when this type of abuse actually took place during his time in captivity. There are no bounds for Hamas's evilness, and we will not stop reminding the world of who they are, who Hamas is, and what they are capable of, and what they want to repeat. Meanwhile, Hamas is continuing to violate the ceasefire in place. On Wednesday, the IDF observed terrorists crossing over the yellow line and approaching our soldiers once again, posing an immediate threat to them. In response, following identification, the IDF struck and eliminated them to remove the threat. And again on Wednesday, several terrorists opened fire in an area where our IDF soldiers were operating in Khan Yunis. Now, in response to this violation of the ceasefire in place and to defend our troops, the IDF began striking Hamas terror targets across the Gaza Strip. Israel made the decision independently to conduct these airstrikes and did not ask for permission to protect ourselves and our people. Also, within the Yellow Line, IDF forces have been locating and dismantling terror infrastructure that's been used by terror organizations inside of Gaza. And specifically, the IDF located an 8-tube rocket launcher with 4 rockets inside of it, which was aimed towards Israeli territory. Under the ceasefire, the IDF will continue to clear the area, remove any threat, and destroy terror infrastructure. Also on Wednesday, Prime Minister Netanyahu visited the established buffer zone in Syria, where he went to an IDF post and thanked our heroic soldiers for all of their efforts over the last 2 years. Now, many of these soldiers have done multiple rotations in the reserve since October 7th. The Prime Minister explained the importance of our capabilities inside of this buffer zone while safeguarding our Druze brothers and the State of Israel and its northern border. The Prime Minister has made it clear that we are watching Syria with our eyes wide open and are observing what is actually being implemented on the ground, not just what is being said. The Prime Minister insists that a security arrangement must include the demilitarization of southern Syria and offers permanent protection for our Druze brothers and sisters. I would also like to point you to the announcement our office released about the close cooperation between the Mossad and intelligence and law enforcement agencies in Europe, which has led to the seizure of weapons caches and the arrest of terrorists in Europe as well. These terrorist infrastructures were built by Hamas to carry out attacks against Israeli and Jewish targets. The announcement specifically mentions the cooperation between law enforcement in Germany and Austria, which led to complex counter-terrorism operations and resulting in arrests of terrorists and the discovery of weapons caches. The investigation into the Hamas terror network in Europe is currently also examining the possible involvement of Hamas elements in Turkey in promoting the intention to carry out attacks, some which have already been exposed. This is because Turkey is an operational arena for Hamas operatives in the past and in the present. Mossad and its partners in the Israeli and global intelligence communities will continue to work together to thwart terrorism against Israelis, Jews, and innocent people around the world. I'll now take a few questions. Okay, so the first question